It was such a blessing to be brought on as a Grlswirl Team Rider. And so for me, I really feel like my purpose is to like spread love and light to people. Show people that you can live with like gratitude every single day. My name is Val Laforge and I'm from Sebastopol, California, which is like an hour north of San Francisco. So I started surfing in the Philippines in 2018 was like when I first learned how to surf, which was basically just me on a wave storm, like standing up. I was not surfing, I was just like going forward. And then I learned how to skate in New Zealand in 2019. So I was a college soccer player. I played Division I soccer at St. Mary's College. And my best friend in college was playing on a semi-pro team in New Zealand. And I had like finished my master's program in Japan. And then she texted me and was like, dude, we need a center back on our team in New Zealand. Like, do you want to come play? And so I ended up buying a ticket to New Zealand and playing on a soccer team there. And all the girls on the team were skateboarders. And so they would always try to get me to skate. They'd be like, Val, come skate with us. And I was like, no, I'm not a skater. Like, I've tried it and it's too hard. And then one day they convinced me to skate with them. And I just like completely fell in love with skateboarding. So I was like Grlswirl's biggest fan. Like I followed them on Instagram. I would like message them and just tell them how much I loved and appreciated them. So I was like, oh my God, these girls are so cool. Like I had never really been to Venice Beach. And so seeing like all these girls skating in Venice and like just with so much like grace and style and flow. And I would like tag them in all my skate videos and be like, I love you guys. And the funny thing is, I remember with those girls in New Zealand, we actually posted a video or a photo of us skating and we were like, Grlswirl, sponsor us. So we were always just like so stoked on Grlswirl. And the craziest part is most of the Grlswirl girls have a connection to my small town in Sebastopol. Like Lindsay, who was my roommate in Venice, she actually has a best friend that lives in my town and is from my town. So she was always traveling up there and like skating at my local park in Sebastopol. And then I texted her, messaged her and was like, oh my God, you're here, like let's skate. And so her and I met at the skate park and started skating together. And during this time, I had created my own skate community in Northern California. And so it was me and like 10 girls. And we would travel all over and skate together. We would go to all the local parks and skate like every single day. And so we planned a road trip down to San Diego, and it was right after I met Lindsay. So we all piled in the car and we stopped at like Santa Cruz, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, and of course we had to come to Venice Beach.
Look, let them know what's up if they even want to chat. Put the city on the map, do we even gotta ask? Man, I'm feeling spiffy, but I keep it all a stack. You ain't run a lap, let me give you all the facts.
I fell in love with this place. Like, everyone here, like you just get to the park and everyone's like, oh, yo, what's up? Like, good morning, how are you? I feel like if you're a skater, you're like in the crew, you know? You're like in the community. Yeah, that's kind of where my whole journey in Venice started. When I was here, I hit up Lindsay and I was like, yo, I'm in Venice. And so she connected me with Lucy and I ended up meeting Mariah, and then I also met Gabe, who's yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, so I met Gabe, who works for Carver, and he saw me skating at the park the first time I met Lucy, and they were like, oh my God, we want to do a Carver video on you. And so not only was it my first time like in Venice skating and meeting like the girls that inspired me to skate, but it was like also my first time skating for Carver, and they like gave me a Carver and I was like, oh my God, this is my dream. There was like a little like 30-second to a minute video that Carver made on me like 2 years into me skating. I think it was like a year and a half into me skating. actually, at the time I met Lucy, we hung out with her for a week. And she was so hospitable. She invited us to skate, to go to all these restaurants. She like let us stay at her house during COVID, like camp out. I had my van. My friends were like sleeping on her floor. And then we just like all became such good friends. And she was like, I think we're opening up like Grlswirl Team Riders soon. And I think you would be the perfect team rider. And so I ended up moving in my van to Venice in August of 2021. Being a team rider, I was like one of the first sponsored team riders for Grlswirl. Yeah, insane. And I would say like my original influence was Grlswirl, but their influence was the 70s, was the Dogtown boys, Tony Alva, and like as I like started to develop a love for skateboarding, I feel like my love for like the Dogtown era and like Tony Alva and like the pool skaters, that's kind of where I like found my place in skateboarding. Is I love skating pools. Like the week I learned how to skate, I was starting to skate pools already. So I was like barely standing on a board and I was like carving a pool. So
are you a surfer that skates or are you a skater that skates?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I would
ask everyone that everybody is. Yeah.
I think I'm a skater that surfs. I learned how to surf first, but I love pools, and so I just love the whole era of like people hopping fences and finding pools and draining the water and skating, and I'm so inspired by that.
40 years ago, that's what they were doing.
Exactly, and like I'm still doing that. Like I literally was in Ventura last weekend skating a pool with water in it. So I feel like my inspiration is like, yeah, like Tony Alva, the Dogtown boys, like that whole vibe of like backyard pools, barefoot, like when there's no waves, you skate, you know? And so how can we make skating feel like surfing?
In the place back east, falling to my knees, floor beneath you so familiar.
Like I travel a lot for Grlswirl, but also my boyfriend's a pro skater, so getting to travel the world with him, Grlswirl gives me that community wherever I go. I was just in Canada in this tiny town, and I had 30 girls come out and skate with me. Yeah, I was just like, yo, I'm having a group skate here, like come. And so that just like lit a fire under me, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm a part of this also, you know? I feel like I struggled a lot as a kid, just like with two brothers, with growing up, like this small town, like no community really, like not so many friends, like just feeling super isolated as a kid inspired me to like grow a community and to be that like positive person in people's lives, because I needed that as a kid. Like I needed someone who was an inspiration to me, someone who was like gonna uplift me and be like, you can do this, you know? Because I really feel like I got to this place in my life because of like gratitude. And I just remember a specific time in my life when I stopped, like, and this was like when I was in middle school. I remember when you're a kid and you're just like trying to figure everything out. And I remember I was like, from now on, I'm only gonna say nice things about people. I'm only gonna tell people what I love about them. I'm only gonna like compliment people. And I was like, it was like a turning point in my life. Yeah, that's the biggest reflection that I get from people is like, you're so full of light, you're so full of love, like you're like the sun, you're so much like sunshine. And it really comes from me reflecting people's light back to them. And be like, I see you, like you're doing amazing. I see how much you've progressed, or I see, you know, the way you love people, or the way that you help your friends, or, you know, and like really pointing those things out in people, like changes lives. Yeah, I'm just so blessed, and I'm so grateful for Lucy and Lindsay and Mariah and Julia and like Monroe and literally the whole Grlswirl crew for like sticking to the dream, you know, and like seeing power in community. Such an honor to be a part of it, but also a leader in it. I'm just so blessed.